What's up, my brothers and sisters in Christ? Welcome to this very special Father's Day edition of the Sunday Word Report. As you see, once again, I am not alone. Joining me right here, right now on the Sunday Word Report is 2015 BeJM Motivator of the Year Award recipient. Also, he is the apprentice here in BeJM Ministries. I am talking about none other than Mr. Remell Wright. Welcome to the Sunday Word Report.
Hey, thank you so much. How y'all doing out there today, fam? It's a pleasure to be here, especially with this wonderful Father's Day edition. It's so many wonderful fathers out there, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them to be celebrated for all. I didn't say some, I say all of the hard work that they do in the lives of the world, their kids, and their families.
Amen. I mean, you know, I normally don't do a vlog on Thursday. I only do it second and fourth Sunday, but I had to do this because I'm not going to just do this. We're not doing this for just fathers. We are doing this for men in general.
It's time to represent. It's time to represent.
I don't know, do you all remember last year on Facebook Live? I went on Facebook Live and I talked about how men are just put down the dirt, basically, you know.
Oh man, they drag us so bad, man. I'm talking about, man, it's almost like sometimes the world don't even need men. It's like the world can spin without us. And y'all know that ain't true. But there are so many brothers out there that are doing wonderful things, but somehow the good never gets brought to the light, but the bad is always brought to the light.
And it's just there's a lot of, like he says, a lot of great men out there doing great things. There are also single fathers out there.
Yeah, one time for the single fathers out there, I see you. I see you. Keep up the good work that you're doing. A lot of people don't see it, but I see it. I work in the school systems. A lot of times people say, well, you know, daddies ain't involved, but I know that's a lie because it's more dads that come to my school checking up on their kids than anything, you know. And sometimes it's a situation to where their name may not be on the registration, you know, and it's as simple as me just calling the mom and saying, hey, dad showed up, he want to see the kid. What do you want? What do you want to do? I say, he just want to check on his baby.
That's right.
And when a child see dad at school, I mean, you talking about how the eyes light up, how excited they are. And it's just nothing like having your dad just coming to check on you, man. It's just a different kind of feeling. You know?
Yeah, I mean, one thing about being a dad, you know, it's often overlooked a lot. You know, dad has a huge responsibility.
Yes, he does.
A man has a huge responsibility. A man, we as men supposed to be leaders. We need to be leaders.
That's right.
I want every man out there to know that if you are struggling and don't know how to stand on your own 2 feet, let me encourage you today here on the Sunday Word Report.
That's right, that's right.
You are not alone. You got brothers here to help you, to minister to you, to help you get on your feet, help you to be the leader that you are called to be, because we are all called to leadership. The man is supposed to be the head of the household. The man is supposed to be the one to tell your family. Guess what? We going to church. The man's supposed to be the head. And I know it's not easy. It's hard being a man. But guess what? God will not leave you alone. He got your back. He got your back. So I just want to salute every single man out there today.
That's right.
The struggle is real, but you are not alone. We need to band together.
We got to band together. And that's what the whole vlog is about today, because, you know, we sat back and we thought about it when Minister Major did a special last year on Father's Day. I watched it, and as a father, it touched me because everybody know on Mother's Day, man, they start celebrating Mother's Day in January.
December.
But I mean, but when it come down to Father's Day, the only way you may know it's Father's Day is you may actually go to Lowe's or go to Home Depot, and you may see a sign right above the screwdriver or right above the hammer. You know, men like nice stuff too. We don't want just hammers and screwdrivers, you know. We want some commercials, you know. But it's cool though, because one thing about it, what a real man does, it does not have to be celebrated. It does not have to be made a spectacle, because we have to do what we have to do. But at the same time, men need to get credit in any area of their life where they doing great things. I mean, he may not be spending $100 on a pair of shoes, but
that's right.
If he making sure that his child has clean shoes, he in there. He may not actually be going out buying like $100 clothes or $100 shorts, or he may can't buy his kids the coolest video game, but guess what? If he come, pick up his son, pick up his daughter, take them out to spend some time with them, buy them their ice cream, I promise you, to a child, an ice cream with their dad, man, that's more powerful than a PS4. You know?
That's right.
Hey family, how y'all doing? I decided to add a special edition to BeJM Ministries today. We're talking about fatherhood, and I just decided to bring my sons up here, and I'm pretty much just gonna ask them some real random questions about fatherhood, about having a dad. You know myself, what I do to them and how I think that it makes me feel, but it's nothing like going to the horse's mouth. So I'm gonna turn, matter of fact, I'm gonna put this hat over my face and I'm just gonna ask these young men some questions. Starting off with, who will I go with? Oh, matter of fact, this right here is Rashad Marquise Wright, and this is Remell Wright Jr. I should have said that with my hat on. But this is Rashad Marquise Wright, and this is Remell Wright Jr. So now I put my hat back on. Hey, starting off with Rashad. Tell me what it's like just having a dad that's in your life, you know, consistently.
It feels weird because I know sometimes in the world, people, kids, they don't have dads. Like you as an example, when you was growing up, you didn't have your dad in your life. And kind of felt bad when you wanted somebody to take you for ice cream, take you to a movie. Where was he at? So yeah, mom had to just throw a football, ride a bike, play basketball and stuff. And I think a man should do that.
Like a man should do that?
Yes, sir. Good
answer.
And then, like I said on Mother's Day here on the Sunday Word Report, you know, days like Mother's Day and Father's Day is just not for women and men, you know, who have had biological children.
No.
There are uncles, there are cousins, there are neighbors out there doing the role of a mother, doing the role of a father. I have godchildren. I'm an uncle myself.
That's
you know,
right. That's
you
right.
you gotta honor those who fill in that gap, that role.
That's right.
You know,
That's
it's very important. You gotta encourage everybody, and especially men. See, let me tell you about when you don't encourage men.
Go ahead.
When you don't encourage men, that just add another statistic to our, already problem.
That's right.
You know, you gotta encourage men. See, let me tell you something. A lot of people talk about, well, if I say this and I do this, they still may do this and do that. But no, here's the trick. You already done tried. See, in this world, we gotta try at everything. We may not succeed at trying, but as long as we try, we are doing what God wants us to do. He wants to try. He wants us to give our best effort. We gotta learn how to build each other up instead of tearing each other down. When you see someone doing good, you don't tear them down and make them feel lower than they were already, feel. You gotta build them up. And men, like I said, men are meant to be leaders. Men are meant to be the role models in the family. And if you keep tearing down men, guess what? You ain't gonna have no true men in this world.
You won't.
I mean, you could talk about how the generation is bad and this and that, but what are you doing to make a difference?
Already, everyone always wants to talk about the problem, but no one wants to talk about solutions. Right now, I'm here to tell you, if you're a father, if you're any kind of man out there right now, I just want you to go ahead and pat yourself on the back. Do it even better and pat yourself on the other back, because I see the good in you. If nobody else sees the good that you're doing, I'm telling you right now, I appreciate you. The one little nice thing that you're doing, the nice effort that you're putting forth, that one thing is changing the world, because we want more men to be celebrated, because you are awesome in your own life. You just don't know it. One thing my mom always told me, she said, you have to watch how you treat people, because even if you got a dog and you feed your dog Alpo, if every time that dog comes to that bowl and he eat that Alpo and you kick him, before long he gonna come, he gonna wag his tail, he gonna look at you, and then he gonna look at that Alpo bowl, and if you kick it again, before long that dog gonna sit back and just watch you pour that Alpo, and then he gonna wait until you leave, and then he may go over there and sniff it. But if you kick him again, before long that dog is gonna leave you, and he gonna leave that Alpo, and he gonna go down the street and eat some dead food out of a trash can. So I'm telling you what I know. If anybody, man or woman, is doing anything great in your life, celebrate that, because it's so easy to point out all the things that they are not doing. But we need to start celebrating the things that people are doing, especially these men out here. I'm sorry, I love men.
That's what I'm talking about.
Go men!
This ain't your ordinary Sunday Word Report Day. Just let y'all know. I should have said that at the beginning, but this ain't your ordinary edition of the Sunday Word Report. This is only the beginning of so many great things that are going to happen in BeJM Ministries. But we're going to be touching on stuff that not a lot of people touch on, like the youth, the young adults, and most importantly, the men. Because let me tell you this, the men play, like I said, a huge role. The God, set aside men to be that leader. And so many men are just falling by the wayside. And they are not getting credit when they do good, great things. They don't get the credit.
No.
Like, I I be seeing pictures on social media with all these great men doing great things, but they don't be talked about in the news. They don't be.
You great, brother. You great.
Yeah, we got a lot of men that are doctors, lawyers, you know, teachers, and there's a lot of men doing great things, but it's time to give them credit. It's time to give you all credit. And even if you're not a doctor, teacher, or whatever the case may be, guess what? You still are a leader. There's something special about you that God loves to say and hates. This world may not appreciate, this whole world may not appreciate you, but we appreciate you. We commend you today here on this Father's Day. We salute every single father, every single man, every single uncle, cousin, godfather, whatever the case may be. Even if you're a neighbor and you know you watch out for the neighbors, you know, hey, we salute you today. Amen.
Remell, how does having a consistent dad in your life feel?
It feels amazing for me, and I feel like I need it more in my life right now. Since I'm going through teenagehood and I'm going to be in high school, I just think having a consistent man influence in my life is just keeping me from straying like toward street life, drugs and stuff like that. Just not just having a father in general, but having a father that came from the same background related to that stuff. And he just kind of tells me how bad it is for you and don't do it. I would advise for you not to do it, but I can't really control what you do. He just gives me like a lot of freedom. He tells me things to do around the house, but he doesn't tell me exactly when he wants it done. He just wants it to be done sooner or later. So I just feel like having a steady father in my life just basically shows me a sense of how it would be to be a man one day.
I want to give a big shout out to the stepfathers that are out there holding down the trenches,
right,
because you know one thing about it, my dad wasn't in jail. He wasn't dead. He was alive and living, but he just did not want the responsibility of raising his child. And as a child growing up, I was angry about that. But one thing about that devil, you know, he get in your mind and start showing you all the negative things about what you don't have and what you should have. I was so blinded, I couldn't even see the blessing that God had put in my life as having a stepdad, and his name was Joe B. Ward. He's gone and he's deceased, but those are the men that taught me how to be a man. My stepdad, you know, my grandpapa, you know, the neighbor next door, these are the men that came and poured into my life, and I'm sure I'm not the only man that had other men out there that were not related to you, that were not your father, that came in and just poured into you. Those are the things that we got to be thanking God for, because what if your daddy wasn't there, and what if none of those men actually poured into your life? Where would you be? Where would I be? Still sitting back crying, I miss my dad. I ain't taking care of my kid because my dad ain't take care of me. One thing about it, if one thing is going to change a man and it's going to change him forever, that's having a child. That's pretty much the measuring stick when you have a man. If he has a child, you should see some kind of change in that man. If that man has a child and you don't see some kind of change in that man at the time, there's a great chance that that man may not change as fast as you want him to. Not saying that he won't change, but somehow having a child really changes a man, and that's what changed my life, because my daddy wasn't there for me. I had a daughter first, and I had 2 sons, and I sat back and I said, man, all the pain and hurt that I got in my heart about my dad not being in my life, I want to be all of that and more for my son. That's why I go so hard for my sons. And my motto was this: it's a lot of things in life that I'm going to fail at. It's a lot of things that I'm going to be miserable at. It's a lot of things that Remell Wright going to get talked bad about. But one thing is true. I'm going to be a good daddy now. I'm going to be a good daddy, because I was always told when you die at your funeral, people are going to say, was he good at the job? Well. Was he good in the neighborhood? Was he friendly? Well. And then everybody going to say, well, did he take care of his children? Did the church get quiet because he didn't? With me, I always say, when they say, did he take care of his children? I want to hear, wow, 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 wow. You know, so that's why I go so hard, you know. But men have to know that it's not how much money you spending.
That's right.
It's not what kind of car you driving. It ain't even so much about how you actually pleasing the child's mother or not. Once you have a child, your sole responsibility is to protect that child, to get that child clothing and shelter, and make sure that that child is straight, and make sure that you actually are playing your part in that child's life. Like in my life, my daddy pretty much told my mama, if you ain't gonna be with me, F them kids. I'm not gonna be in them kids. Like, you gotta be with me, or I'm not gonna take care of my kids. I'm like, what? When did it become a package deal? But true to, a lot of people look at it just like that. So I'm thinking about the men nowadays that may be out there struggling, may want to see your kid, may can't see your kid because you got issues going on with the child mother, whether you married or not married. I'm asking you today, brother, sit back and just think about the long-term effect when that child becomes an adult. They see issues going on, kids grow up, they learn, they can start seeing things for themselves. But one thing you want your child to know, brother, my daddy always tried. Whether my mom allowed him to do whatever he want to do, that's fine. That child gonna remember. And when they get old enough to understand, and you can get your own relationship with them, that child is gonna be so grateful that you fought for a relationship with them. Wow. See, I hid myself just so you wouldn't think that was coached or coerced. Man, awesome, man. I talk good about y'all, daddy, man. Y'all earned that $20. On another note, oh, I ain't supposed to tell them I paid y'all to say that. We just kidding. I don't pay them to say anything nice. But another thing too, I need to ask y'all this. How do you feel about your dad? I mean, how do y'all feel? I mean,
You trying to good about yourself?
no, I'm sort of kinda. Alright, well, I'll change the question. What's more important? Is it me spending money on y'all, taking y'all to the mall,
Spending time with
It's
us.
the effort.
the effort and the time? Now, some men may not have jobs. You may not have a lot of money. You may not even have a car. But one of my sons said, effort. You get an E for effort. Try. And you said, time.
Like, people say time is money, but you don't need money to have time.
Whoa. That comes from a 14-year-old young man. I don't even know what else to say on that right there.
And another thing I must say, I grabbed this pencil. The Holy Spirit speak to me in all kinds
Man,
of
don't
ways.
hit me with that pencil, BJ. You picked up that pencil. I thought you were finna bop, man. I thought I was eating up too much of tape.
This is generational curses. Everybody gets so caught up on my dad did this, so I'm gonna do that.
That's right.
You know, I guess it's just in me. But let me tell you something. It's time to break them.
The world beats men down, but men truly need to understand the importance of the relationship between father and son. This is something that God brought to me one day. The reason why the world always wants to separate men, beat them down, tear them down, and then the son in light is looking at the father being torn down and being beat down. So if he's seen his father being beat down, he's gonna walk around with his head hung down. The relationship between a father and son is so powerful because God and his son Jesus had that relationship together, and I honestly believe that's why there's a war going on in the world, tearing men down and tearing their sons down, because there's going to be a generational pattern of men being separated from their dad, sons being separated from their fathers, and as long as that's going on and they can't unite, they won't ever get together and do something powerful. When men and their sons have beautiful relationships, they create things together. They bond. You can see a difference in a young man, how he walks when his father is in his life. You can see a difference in the smile in a young lady when her dad is in her life or not. So that's something that I learned and I wanted to share. If you ever wonder why all the wars going on, all the bad stuff is going on between men and separating them from their kids, it's because that was the original relationship between God and his son Jesus. That's the whole unity. So if the devil can keep men and their sons like this instead of being like this, it's always going to be chaos. But once man start realizing what the devil plan is, and then he teaches his son what the devil plan is, that space between father and son is going to soon diminish, and that's what we're going to be doing with BeJM Ministries. We're going to be eliminating that gap between men and their sons and their kids, and we're going to bring them back together. Now, when we get back together, it's going to be something solid like this, and then the world is going to be in trouble because the devil can't actually fight anything where people actually unify in peace and love and harmony. So that's what we're going to be working on, restoring that relationship between fathers and mothers and children, and breaking down all them walls and all them barriers in the end, and before long they're gonna be together like this. And I know then that's when the world is gonna be a better place.
Not just black men, not just white men, both, everybody, every nationality.
Purple men, green men, yellow men, red men, all men.
All y'all.
It's green men.
All y'all.
It's purple men too.
Silver.
Silver men. My son says silver men out there. I don't care what color man you are. I love you. We love you. And this is a tribute for you. Enjoy your Father's Day, whether you got a child or not. If you being any kind of male influence in a young man's life or a young woman's life or doing anything positive for the community, Brother Wright love you and I'm proud of you. And
we salute you.
Keep on doing whatever you're doing because you're making a difference. What would y'all have to say for the young men that are out there, or the other fathers that are out there that are trying to figure out ways to actually be in their kids' lives, but they don't have what the kid's mother may say you need to have in order to see your child, or what the world says you need to be doing in order to have a relationship with your child. What kind of encouragement could y'all offer them young men?
As a man, you don't always have to listen to the women. You can do what you feel is right for your kids. And sometimes you don't have to buy them all the new J's, all the V-Bucks, all the new cars. Sometimes you just pay 99 cents for an ice cream cone and they be satisfied. Because it brings the happiness to a kid just to see their dad spend a little bit of money, even 50 cents on a little lollipop or a lifesaver. But sometimes it's just the effort that counts, because you could buy them the smallest thing, like a little gum, and they'd be happy. So I can chew gum with my dad.
Nah, I know, man. All I gotta do is spend 50 cents on an ice cream cone for the rest of your life and you'll be happy.
You said that for me.
What about you, LJ?
Well, my advice for all the fathers out there that are trying to get into their kids' life, whatever the mother says you have to bring, technically you don't have to listen to it just because you made that child too, so it's part of you. It's half you and half of the mom. So you should have some say in whether what you should do with your child or not. Because technically, since you made the child, you have legal rights to it and spiritual rights. So you don't necessarily have to come in with like a whole lot of money to spend time with them. Just like come in and watch some TV with them, or like pop a bag of popcorn and watch a movie on the DVD player. Just something simple, or just like go to the park and shoot some basketball. Just something simple that doesn't really like take a lot of money, or that doesn't really take a lot of money, but it's allowing you to spend time and develop a relationship with your child.
There you have it. Coming from Remell Wright Sr., Remell Wright Jr., and Rashad Marquise Wright. We're trying to do all we can do to keep the family strong, keep the men encouraged. So hopefully from this impartation, me and these two young men, y'all can actually see what the world tell you that it takes to be a good dad. You just heard straight from kids. It may take a 50-cent ice cream cone. It may take a little effort. It may take a little time. This young man right here said that you have spiritual rights to your son or to your daughter. So with all that being said, continue being great. When things get hard on you, you feel like you can't really move forward. Those are the times when you need to think about the good things that are happening in your life, thinking about the good parts of the relationship with your kids, thinking about the things that you want to do, the wishes that you have. Don't spend so much time focusing on the negative, because if you spend all your time focusing on the negative, there's so much negative in the world, you'll always feel beat down. So we're going to end this vlog with telling you that we love you, enjoy your Father's Day, and continue being great at whatever you're doing in the lives of your children. God bless.
Jesus Christ, save my life.